Democracies from Greece, it tries to create peace, decisions based on reason, so said Socrates. The Romans had a republic, an indirect democracy. Their written code applied to all from sea to shining sea. The Hebrews gave us tablets that helped democracy. From there we get our ethics and our morality. And Jesus, we know him well. He taught us that we're all equal. King Johnny and the nobles signed the Magna Carta. In 1215 this document limited the king's power. The glorious revolution ousted the divine right king. In came William and Mary, Constitution it would bring. Power now had a limit, nobody could erase it. And all those English monarchs now just had to face it. Hobbes expressed his views in a book called Leviathan. He said without absolute monarchs man would war with every man. John Locke had a different, positive view of human nature. He said people could learn and improve on their behavior. According to he, all people are born free with three natural rights: liberty, life, and property. Montesquieu taught power should be separated. Three branches of government is what he created. These ideas of enlightenment led to the American Revolution. They gave us the Declaration and a damn good Constitution. Unlike in France in 1789, the Third Estate began to hate and then began to whine. With all things said, the king lost his head. They settled for a dictatorship instead. Maximilian Robespierre then brought the pain. Heads were rolling left and right, in terror he would reign. Napoleon would bring control to this war-torn nation. But when he tried to dominate, he unleashed a new creation. Especially in Germany and Italy as well, the ideas of nationalism soon began to swell. Napoleon came to an end when he fought at Waterloo. He left France in defeat and he felt like such a fool. The Congress of Vienna tried to satisfy all those greedy monarchs Napoleon had defied. And it's another boring day in world history. What does all this democracy stuff have to do with me? Mr. Rodriguez just tells us we will see. The Industrial Revolution was a time to invent. Change was happening very fast. Things came and then they went. People working day and night, children forced to work, no pay, long hours, no safety rules, and all for little pay. No rest, not one right. People needed a union to fight. When cities grew fast, problems would arise. Don't walk in the alleys at night, cause you might find a surprise. Adam Smith supported the ideas of capitalism and laissez-faire. Government should stay out of business, and they should mind their own affairs. And the Communist Manifesto was written by a man named Marx. He criticized capitalism. Communism, it would spark the need for more resources, led to the colonies. In Africa, the Europeans brought the people to their knees. And it's another boring day in world history. What does all this industrial stuff have to do with me? Mr. Rodriguez just tells us we will see. There was tension in the world with all the militarism. Europeans fighting in alliances due to imperialism. Germany on one side led the Triple Alliance, gave a blank check to Austria-Hungary due to Serbia's defiance. They assassinated Franz Ferdinand in June of 1914. It would mark the start of the biggest war the world had ever seen. The Great War would be bloody. It wasn't very fun. Trench warfare on the Western Front 'cause of the machine gun. Germany would lose. Bye-bye, Schlieffen Plan. Tried to fight on two fronts, but I don't think they can. 1917, the tide of war would turn. The US gets involved, the Lusitania burns. The Tsar's poor leadership in Russia led to hunger and rioting. They were losing more than any other nation in the fighting. The Russian Revolution ended the life of the Tsar. The Treaty of Brest-Litovsk ended the two-front war. Germany had an advantage with Russia out of the way, but America's involvement turned the tide the other way. After the war, the Allies planned to meet. They arrived in Paris to try to establish peace. Paris peace was held at the Palace of Versailles. To punish Germany, France and Britain sure would try. Woodrow Wilson showed up with his 14 points, called for self-determination and a league for all to join. A compromise was reached in June of 1919. They blamed all the war on Germany and took away her territory. Russia was not invited. She lost a lot of land. The Allies didn't want to give the communists a hand. The treaty changed the map of Europe. Old empires disappeared. The League of Nations kept the peace, but only for 20 years. And it's another boring day in world history. What does all this Great War stuff have to do with me? Mr. Rodriguez just tells us